Have you ever been talking to your dog, maybe using that special high-pitched voice we all use, and suddenly they do it? They cock their head to the side, their ears perk up, and they look at you with those big, curious eyes. It is one of the most charming things a dog can do. It melts our hearts every single time. But have you ever stopped to wonder why they do it? What is going on inside that furry head when they make that adorable gesture? It is a question that has puzzled dog lovers for generations. It is a simple action, but it speaks volumes about the connection we share with our canine companions. This simple head tilt is a universal language among dogs. It crosses all breeds, all sizes, and all ages. From a tiny Chihuahua to a giant Great Dane, the gesture is the same. It is a moment of deep connection, a sign that your dog is truly engaged with you. They are not just hearing sounds, they are trying to understand. They are trying to process the information you are giving them. It is a beautiful display of their intelligence and their desire to communicate with us, their pack leaders. Understanding this behavior is like learning a secret password to your dog's inner world, a world filled with loyalty, curiosity, and an incredible amount of love. Many people believe the head tilt is just a display of cuteness. When a dog tilts its head, our immediate reaction is to say, "Aw, owner." Aw, we might even give them a treat or a pat on the head. Our positive reaction is a powerful reward. Dogs are very smart. They quickly learn which behaviors get them positive attention. So your dog may have learned that tilting its head makes you happy. When you are happy, you give them affection, and sometimes a tasty snack. This is learned behavior, cause and effect that strengthens your bond. But is it only about rewards? I believe it goes deeper. The head tilt often happens when a dog is genuinely puzzled or intrigued. Think about sounds that trigger it. A high-pitched squeak from a toy, an unusual word you say, the sound of another animal on TV. These novel sounds break their routine. The head tilt says, "What was that? That's interesting. I need to figure this out." It's active processing, their brain working to make sense of the world. Scenario: you're getting ready for a walk. You say walk in an excited tone. Owner: walk. Your dog, who links that word to fun, might tilt its head in anticipation. They're listening for that key word, focusing all their energy on you. The head tilt here is intense focus and concentration. It shows dogs are active participants in our communication. To truly understand the head tilt, we need to think about how a dog hears. Their hearing is incredibly powerful, far more sensitive than ours. They can hear frequencies that are too high for the human ear to detect. However, their ability to pinpoint the exact location of a sound is not as precise as ours. A dog's brain calculates location by measuring tiny time differences between ears. It's sophisticated, but it has limits, especially when a sound is directly in front of or behind them. This is where the head tilt comes in. By tilting their head, a dog repositions their ears. That small adjustment changes the angle sound waves enter the ear canals. It gives the brain a fresh set of information. Think of it like adjusting an old radio antenna for a clearer signal. The dog is fine-tuning their hearing, trying to get the best read on where the sound is coming from. It's a physical adjustment to improve sensory perception and gather more data. Furthermore, a dog's ear flaps, the pinny, play a big role. Unlike fixed human ears, a dog's pinny are highly mobile and controlled by over a dozen muscles. They can rotate and pivot their ears like satellite dishes to capture sound. Still, the ear flap can sometimes muffle sound a bit. By tilting their head, they may move the flap out of the way, allowing sound to travel more directly into the ear canal. This helps them locate and hear the sound more clearly. Now let's look at this from another angle. What if the head tilt is not just about hearing, but also about seeing? A well-known psychologist named Stanley Coren proposed a fascinating theory. He suggested that a dog's muzzle can partially obstruct their field of vision. Think about it from your dog's perspective. If you hold your own fist in front of your nose, you can see how it blocks your lower field of view. For a dog, especially one with a longer snout like a greyhound or a collie, their muzzle is always there, right in front of their eyes. To test this idea, Coren conducted an informal survey. He found that dogs with longer muzzles seemed to tilt their heads more when their owners spoke to them. In contrast, dogs with flatter faces did not seem to do it as much. Pugs, bulldogs. This suggests that the tilt might be a way for the dog to see our faces more clearly. When we speak, our mouths and facial expressions provide a lot of information. A A dog might be tilting their head to get their muzzle out of the way, giving them a better, unobstructed view of our mouths and lower face. This makes a lot of sense when you consider how important our faces are in communication. Dogs are experts at reading human body language. They watch our expressions for clues about our mood and intentions. When we put the auditory and visual theories together, we get a much more complete picture. The head tilt is likely not an either-or situation. It is probably a both-and behavior. A dog tilts its head to optimize both its hearing and its vision simultaneously. This is a brilliant example of how animals adapt to get the most information from their environment. They are not just focusing on one sense, they are creating the best possible conditions for multiple senses to work together in harmony. This allows them to build a richer, more detailed understanding of what is happening. Imagine you are talking to your dog in a quiet room. You say a word they know, like treat, in a soft voice. They might tilt their head to better triangulate the location and clarity of the sound. At the same time, they move their muzzle out of the way to get a clear look at your facial expression. They see your smile. They hear the happy tone in your voice. They understand the meaning of the word. All these pieces of information come together to confirm that something wonderful is about to happen. The head tilt is the action that facilitates this data collection. Dogs might not understand the dictionary definition of every word we say, but they are masters at understanding the emotion behind our words. They are incredibly attuned to our tone of voice, our body language, and our energy. The head tilt is often a response to these emotional cues. When you use a high-pitched, excited voice, you are communicating happiness and fun. Your dog tilts its head because it recognizes this as a positive emotional state. They are trying to understand the context of your happiness. Is it a walk? Is it playtime? Is it a treat? This ability to read emotions is a key part of the dog-human bond. Scientific studies have shown that dogs process vocal cues and emotions in a part of their brain that is very similar to the one humans use. This means that when you speak to your dog with affection, their brain is likely processing it in a way that is similar to how another human would. They can differentiate between a happy tone, a sad tone, and an angry tone. The head tilt is their way of focusing in on these vocal nuances to get a better read on your emotional state. Think about how you talk to your dog. We often use what is called dog-directed speech, which is similar to how we talk to babies. We use shorter sentences, a higher pitch, and more emotional expression. A common question is whether certain breeds are more prone to head tilting. As we discussed with the muzzle hypothesis, there is some evidence that dogs with longer snouts might tilt their heads more frequently for visual reasons. Greyhounds, collies, German shepherds. Their anatomy gives them a practical reason to make this adjustment. This does not mean that flat-faced dogs never tilt their heads. Beyond muzzle length, we can also consider a breed's temperament and original purpose. Temperament and working purpose matter. Border Collies, Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. These dogs have been selectively bred for centuries to be attentive and responsive to their handlers. They are literally bred to hang on our every word and gesture. However, it is important to remember that every dog is an individual. I have worked with mixed-breed dogs who were the most expressive head tilters I have ever seen. I have also seen purebred dogs from attentive breeds who rarely did it. A dog's individual personality, their level of curiosity, and their unique learning history are all powerful factors. The head tilt is a wonderfully universal dog behavior. The most important factor is not the dog's pedigree, but the strength of the bond they share with their human pack leader. We have talked about instinct, anatomy, emotion, but we cannot ignore the powerful role of our own reactions. As I mentioned earlier, dogs are very smart learners. They repeat behaviors that lead to positive outcomes. When your dog tilts their head and you immediately respond with praise, affection, a treat, you are positively reinforcing that behavior. Your dog's brain makes a simple and powerful connection. When I do this head movement, my human becomes very happy and gives me good things. It does not take long for them to learn to use this behavior to their advantage. This is not to say that the head tilt is purely a manipulative trick to get treats. The initial tilt is almost always triggered by genuine curiosity, an attempt to hear better, an attempt to see better. But our reaction can turn an instinctive or functional behavior into a learned social cue. Your dog might start to offer a head tilt even when they are not particularly confused, simply as a way to solicit attention or affection from you. It becomes a part of their communication toolkit, a charming way to say, "Hey, look at me, let's interact." The head tilt becomes a shared gesture, something that has meaning for both of you. As we have seen, the simple act of a dog tilting its head is anything but simple. It is a complex blend of anatomy, sensory processing, emotional intelligence, learned behavior. It is a window into how your dog perceives the world and how hard they work to understand their place within it, especially their place by your side. It is a gesture driven by a deep-seated need to connect, to listen, and to see you more clearly. It is a physical manifestation of their focus, their curiosity, and their unwavering devotion. The head tilt is a symbol of the dog-human bond. This bond is built on a language that goes beyond words. It is a language of energy, body posture, and trust. As a pack leader, your role is to provide clear and consistent communication. Your dog, in turn, uses behaviors like the head tilt to show you that they are listening and trying to understand your direction. They are looking to you for guidance, information, and reassurance. Every time they cock their head, they are reaffirming their role in the pack and their trust in your leadership. It is a sign of a healthy, balanced relationship. So the next time your dog graces you with that adorable head tilt, take a moment to truly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.